What's going on, guys? This is Austin from 3 Guys Tech, and I'm bringing you guys with the latest recap of the March 7th Apple iPad event. I'm basically going to call it an iPad event because that was the main attraction of the entire keynote. Now, the first thing that they really talked about, the only new product that they had other than the iPad, was a third generation Apple TV. And the only upgraded features are 1080p playback, a new user interface, and that's going to be $99 in March 16th. So let me go ahead and go to the main attraction, the new iPad. Yes, that is the name. It's called the new iPad. Not the iPad 3, not the iPad HD, but the new iPad. Personally, I really hate that name. Now, first things first, the main thing was the Retina display. That's if you want to watch my other video, you can click this video right here to watch that. Most of what I said was, in fact, true, except for few things. Now, the Retina display, 264 ppi, quadruple the resolution, double on width and length. So that right there is just freaking amazing. You're gonna have a crystal clear resolution. It's better resolution than all the HD TVs we see nowadays. Better than computers and computer monitors. That's just about everything you've seen, but in a 9.7-inch form factor. Moving on to more of the hardware, we're gonna see an A5X processor, not the A6. And don't get this wrong, this is not a quad-core processor. It's a dual-core processor with quad-core graphics. So your normal processing, that's still going to be just about the same speed, probably a little bit faster, but when you're playing games like Infinity Blade, it's going to run a whole lot smoother. And that's mainly to run real estate that you have with that 9.7-inch Retina display. So quad-core graphics, dual-core processor. With the cameras, they changed it to an iSight camera on the back with 5 megapixels, and you can record video at 1080p at 30 frames per second. Unfortunately, the FaceTime camera in the front is still VGA quality. This is something that really upset me because most phones, if you have an iPhone 4S and you have an iPad, you're not really gonna, if you have both and you go out at the same time, would you rather pull out an iPad to capture video with and take pictures, or an iPhone 4S, which has an 8 megapixel camera? The camera that I would use more personally would be the FaceTime camera, just because I would like to see the person's face at a bigger size, but they still had that same VGA quality. So I thought that, we would get at least 720p, at least some type of upgrade with that, but unfortunately we didn't. Now, that was one of the things that I was not really happy with. Now, moving on to the other thing I wasn't happy with the iOS 5.1 update on the iPad, we're going to get dictation features. That does not include Siri. That's extremely upsetting to a lot of people because there's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't put it in the new iPad, because it's capable of running it, and it's a new feature. I know in the keynote they talked about, oh well, it's going to be in Japanese now. Well, you can bring it to the iPad so you can have that more customers that are actually using that service. That's just my personal thought. I thought that it should have had Siri on it, but tell me what you guys think about that. Now, moving on to the connectivity, we still have the same Wi-Fi options, except you can have Wi-Fi and 4G. So yes, we are going to be seeing Verizon LTE as well as AT&T 4G networks. Now, the new iPad is going to have the same battery life, which is actually a really good feature. That's going to be 10 hours of battery life and 9 hours on 4G. One reason why I could only justify that they wouldn't put that quad-core processor is because it would drain the battery life so quick. So that's probably why they implemented the A5X to have dual-core with quad-core graphics. Because honestly, you're probably going to get a lot better performance either way, even though it's still a dual-core processor. So you're still going to get that great 10-hour battery life. Now, with the battery, I don't know if they made it bigger, and that's why the iPad is thicker. But yes, the iPad, I keep calling the iPad 3. The new iPad is a little bit thicker, but it's not like a huge thing. But usually when you're thinking of upgrades, you're thinking of slimming it down. But the iPad 2 is already so thin, so you can't really blame them for making it a little bit thicker for a Retina display, the same amount of battery life, and a better camera, and stuff like that. Now, you're probably wondering what the price is for this new iPad. It's gonna, like I said in my other video, it's gonna have the same price set as the iPad 2 did when it first launched. So that's gonna be $499, $599, and $699 for the 16 gigabyte, 32 gigabyte, and 64 gigabyte capacities. And then you add the $130, I believe, for the 4G capable network ready iPad. Now this iPad is going to be released on March 16th is when you can get your hands on it. You can pre-order it today so that you can have it by March 16th at the Apple website. So that basically sums it up. Just to give you a quick run through, new iPad, that's what it's called. It's going to have a Retina display, A5X processor, dual-core, quad-core graphics, 5 megapixel iSight camera with HD video recording, 1080p at 30 frames per second, dictation but no Siri, 4G LTE, 10 hours of battery life, 9 hours on 4G, slightly thicker, and the same price set as the iPad 2. And just a quick side note here, the iPad 2 has been discounted $100, I believe. So like I said in my other video, again, if you want to go purchase an iPad 2, now would be the time. If you do want to make the purchase of an iPad 3, I would only say sell your iPad 2 and get this, or if you have an iPad 1, that would be the only justifiable upgrade. If you have an iPad 2, I honestly wouldn't upgrade, and if I did, I would most definitely sell my iPad 2 to purchase this device. And if you do want an iPad 2, you can get it for a lower price. And that's only going to be the 16 gigabyte model that they're selling in stores, and you can get a refurbished model for $300 and something, I believe, on the Apple website. So you're still getting pretty good deals from this if you don't necessarily want the new iPad. Now tell me what you guys think in the comments of the new iPad. Were you disappointed? Did it live up to your expectations? Will you be picking up one? And if so, are you going to be selling your iPad 1, iPad 2 to get it, or are you going to keep both? Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I want to know. This is Austin from 3 Guys Tech. It's a quick video wrapping this up, and I will catch you guys in my next video.